Knights of Vex, after months of grinding, the newest Conquest character, Cobb Vanth, has finally hit the holotables, and he is doing crazy things. That is right, guys. I've been testing Cobb Vanth for the past couple of hours today, and I was not expecting much from this character. I thought he was going to be trash. The overall community sentiment around him was really poor. Like, no one was excited for him. A bunch of people weren't even asking me for how to mod him. Like, everyone's like, he's going to be a new trench character. And let me just tell you this. He is by far exceeding expectations to what we thought he was going to be doing. And we all owe him a massive apology because he's actually destroying Galactic Legends really easily. Like, and this is without GAC Omicrons, by the way. He is lifting up characters that are literally trash. Cup, Lobot, Jawa Scavenger, Chief Nebbit, Tusken Warrior. Tusken Warrior's not terrible, but when's the last time you used any of those characters besides a meme? The only meaningful reason to use Cup was in the previous Conquest for Sector 1. Now Cup is a damage dealer. Crazy. I never thought that we'd ever see Cup doing what he's doing today. But really surprised by the gameplay. He's doing massive things on offense. I'm talking multiple Galactic Legends are being taken out. Crazy. And his modding is going to be weird. You guys aren't going to expect it, but after testing with it, I feel like this is your safest bet, and I will explain in a second. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to head into game and show you guys exactly how I have my Constable team modded, specifically my Cobb Vanth. It's different than what I thought it was going to be. He's listed as an attacker. The reason why I didn't come out with a mod video for him or an Omicron priority video is because I didn't really know. Because he's a very complicated character, lifting a very weird faction. So, after review and looking at his kit and the interactions, I know he's an attacker. I had the most success with Cobb Vanth, modding him for full-blown defense with health primaries. The reason being is that he is super vital for being alive to your team. Because if you go to his leadership ability, the support allies at the beginning of battle, constable support allies, cannot be defeated while Cobb Vanth is active. And when they get to below 1% health, they go to stealth for one turn. That means Cobb Vanth is going to be the one that's being targeted because your other Jawa allies or Tuskens can get defeated. But Lobot and Cup cannot. So that's why you want to mod him tanky and survivable. He can do some damage, yes. But he was doing absolutely crazy damage even without the attacker or the offense modding. So what I ended up doing is I went over here, all defense with health primaries. I'll show you guys in a second. I have him at 318 speed. It's kind of crazy. It's a very fast defense set. I got really lucky with the rerolls. He's at almost 8,000 damage. His defense is, his armor's at 72%, which is crazy, crazy high. But the health, I have at 78k. He has a lot of synergy with bonus protection and stacking max health. So I think it's really important to go for health modding because of that bonus protection stacking. Over here, I have defense with health, and speed. These are the mods I'm rocking. Really good sets, really fast. I can go even faster with this. But I think, as you're going to see in the gameplay, you want him tanky. Because the big thing with this team is that he's not really the damage dealer. He's more of a support utility character because the big things are going to be his second ability, which gives an execution ability, which insta-kills the enemy team. And Cup is dealing true damage. Lobot is your cleanser, speed-up character. And I feel like Cobb Vanth is more of a support. Personally, maybe he's hitting really hard when he's modded for damage, but when I was practicing with offense modding, he was getting melted, hardcore focused, and destroyed. So it's really important that you want him to survive. And also, like, the AI is hard focused on Cobb some matches. Like, the AI knows that this guy is really good at keeping his team alive, so they go for him. Because you can really cheese some mechanics. As you're going to see in some battles, there are crazy cheeses you can do in certain battles. So Cobb Vanth is really, really powerful and exceeding what we thought he was going to be doing. Second character that I have modded was Cup. I moved over some mod sets during testing to see how he was going to do. I started with a crit damage set. I now moved to an offense set. I think he's going to be doing a lot of damage with pure offense because of the true damage from Cobb Vanth's leadership. And they're also gaining 100% offense with a certain clause in Cobb's kit. So over here, these mods are ridiculously fast. I'm not recommending this for anybody, but the offense I have over here is 76, and the special damage is right there. I'm pretty sure he deals physical damage. Yeah, physical damage. He has a potential stun you can do on a basic, so you might want to consider doing that. The chances are increased to 100% based off of Cobb's leadership, but it has a 100% chance of landing, but it can get resisted. That's the difference. So you might want to do a little bit of potency, but I have my Cup for offense. My Lobot I have for speed. He's not really a big damage dealer, but his cleanse can definitely be helpful in a lot of scenarios. So I'm a big fan of his cleanse. Big stuff there. Next up, I think essentially the biggest combination is going to be Chief Nebbit and Scavenger. I brought them up to Relic 7. I got convinced to bring Nebbit up to Relic 9. I think I want to throw defense mods on him because he needs to survive as well. In Grand Arena with the Omicrons turned on, it's going to be easier. But there are times you are getting melted pretty fast. But I do have him modded not for crazy speed, but for very tanky stats. Same thing with Scavenger. Scavenger's not really doing anything besides the unique ability, which is applying thermal detonators when you're getting hit. So he has an 80% chance to give 2 random allies defense up and offense up. Where is it in this case? It's this one, Line in the Sand. If a Jawa ally was damaged by an attack, Jawa Scavenger has an 80% chance to inflict 2 thermal detonators for 2 turns. So when your Chief Nebbit is getting hit, you're increasing the chances of thermals getting applied. And then Cobb Vanth's kit also has crazy thermal detonator synergy where you're applying even more. What I went for him is nothing crazy. These are all basic. I try to go for survivability. I just went protection primaries on everything because he's just getting melted so fast. So fast. The whole team is about surviving. If you can survive, you're going to be doing amazing things. So that's what I was working with for the most part. I did a little bit stuff with Tusken Warrior, but nothing crazy. I think the best combination is going to be Cobb Vanth, Lobot, Cup, Jawa Scavenger, and Chief Nebbit. Have them all pretty much at Relic 7, except 2. Or 3. Cup because of the bundle that came out recently. Cobb Vanth took to Relic 8, and Chief Nebbit I did for fun because of chat to Relic 9. So now what I want to do is show you guys some of the crazy gameplay that we got today, all in one footage on stream. So let's head over to the video, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what we're talking about here. So first things first, we're beating a bunch of Galactic Legends. Kind of hard to test in Squad Arena with not a lot of people available, so I dropped my rank on purpose to test. So you're going to see there's going to be certain matchups with no Datacrons and some with. This is not with any Datacrons. This is a Jabba I found at the very high rank. So over here, I have a Relic 8, Relic 9, and 3 Relic 7s. So over here, we're going to play this on 2x speed. The cool thing about this is that they're all given Outlaw because they're Pirate, Hutt Cartel, whatever. They're all going to get the Outlaw buff. You can ignore Taunt to target Outlaw enemies. Now, immediately, look at the damage from Cup. You see how Cobb Vanth is getting targeted, but he's so tanky because I have him modded for defense? It's very important that he survives. Now, the big thing about Cobb Vanth's second ability is this Distracted ability, which means they can't gain bonus turn meter. It is amazing. That's a very strong mechanic, and it lasts until the end of the battle. Look, we're walking right over Jabba. You want to land that on 3 separate targets, so his second ability, you keep doing to different targets, he's going to get an execute ability that instantly defeats an enemy when a constable ally does a special ability. It is so freaking strong. Now, over here, Jabba does get the contract, but the banners aren't looking that bad right now. Also, Cup and Lobot cannot die. Cannot die unless Cobb Vanth is removed from the battlefield. So over here, Jabba's getting close to ult, but that's with defense modding. Look how hard Cobb Vanth is hitting for defense modding. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. So that was Jabba, a breeze. Next up is going to be Pirate King Hondo, no Datacron, with OG Hondo. This is with Relic 10. Same thing, except this time I threw in Tusken Warrior just to see if it can make a difference. Tusken Warrior for the buff removal, but over here, I put the removing, I think Distracted on Pirate King Hondo is nice because he can't gain bonus turn meter. So when he does that big turn meter ability, you see how he can't gain turn meter? It's very impressive. So I like doing that there. This is a bad start, by the way. They stunned our Cobb Vanth. He's put under captive. They're getting into ultimate charges. It's very annoying. So I do end up putting Deputize on Tusken Warrior. And over here, I'm just trying to kill the sides as fast as I can. They do end up taking out one of our Jawas, but I am just trying to get them down. The biggest thing with this is that we don't have any anti-revive in our kit. So you really have to take your time, kill the sides, and make sure that Hondo is locked down. Because at the end, if he's gaining too much turn meter, he's going to be building too much ultimate charge from taking too many turns. So over here, I'm spreading the second ability to get that Distracted or whatever that debuff is on the field. I now have it on 3 targets. That was somewhat of an insta-kill. Now over here, you're going to see we have speed up and defense up. Once we get to the third ability of that, we're going to get our insta-kill. I'll show you guys in a second. So I put this on, see that little skull right there? that little skull right above our team indicates an insta-kill is available. So when I use a special ability, someone's going down. So over here, I go for Hondo. He's instant defeated. Amazing. Now at this point, I'm beating the clock to try to get rid of Pirate King Hondo because he has his ultimate up. His team will revive. So I'm thinking over here, do I just gun down Pirate King Hondo? Do I kill the side? The biggest thing is that he cannot gain bonus turn meter. That's important. And he's ambushed. There's somewhere in the kit where he's getting no protection. So that's very nice to have. But even with the full defense modding and Cobb Vanth, we still have enough damage to get through him. It just takes a little bit of time. Tusken Warrior was doing pretty nice stuff for the buff removal. I think Jawa Scavenger is a fine option for this lineup. But very cool. I think that Pirate King Hondo is definitely going to see some issues in Grand Arena against Cobb Vanth on defense. Over there, I have another deputized or a distracted ability up. It also lowers speed. Also, wanted to mention, it lowers the enemy speed. Look at that. They go down. Just like that. Awesome, awesome stuff. Nothing crazy in terms of the modding. Nothing crazy. Over there, I get rid of Vane. Nice and simple. So, doing big things against Pirate King Hondo. This is a different lineup. This is without OG Hondo. This is with SM33. No Datacron. Want to showcase this again. Same exact strategy. I'm putting the second special on Pirate King Hondo. I do not want him to gain turn meter. I think he's the most annoying. Now, SM33 is a big damage-dealing tank. You see how Cup goes down to the 1% health? He's under stealth? That's part of the leadership. So now, you could really cheese a lot of battles. Problem is that you're going to lose your sides. Maybe in Grand Arena with the Omicron turned on, where they get 100% defense and taunt and a lot more stats, maybe your Jawas can survive a little bit longer. But over here, it looks like they're in total control. But look at the thermal detonators on the enemy team. They are popping. Jawa Scavenger's unique is insane. So they just start to go down. So Jawa Scavenger's unique is very, very impressive. And see how our Vane is getting kind of low? The survivability modding is helping because we have Bounty Hunters Resolve, because we have a Jawa at the start of battle. So he's going to be really durable and he gets a second life. But you have to make sure that he can survive the battle. Otherwise, the team is useless without him. Once he's out of the battlefield, he's donesy. Cannot use him anywhere. So over here, I tried with Cara Dune, by the way. She is a tank, but not getting the benefits of a constable support ally. So I think Lobot and Cup are locked into the team. Cara Dune is not finding a slot as of right now. At the end, I will talk about Galactic Legends that we did not do well against. I'm not going to show the gameplay. We'd be here forever. But I'm showing you the positive stuff first, the good stuff, because we want to see what he can do. And he's not going to be useless. He's beating Galactic Legends in Squad Arena without, no GAC Omicrons. So it's very, very impressive. Hondo goes down. Love it. Next up, this is going to be Leia. We have Leia on defense with Radis and Jin. Same exact strategy. Jawa Scavenger is super clutch here. The unique of the thermal detonators being applied is huge. Absolutely huge. And every time a thermal explodes, I'm pretty sure you're recovering health and protection. So it makes your team even more durable. So as you can see here, there was a big pop. We're applying heal immunity and burning. It's really, really nice. The cleanse from Lobot. If you could cheese this and they don't really hardcore gun down Cobb Vanth, you're in great shape. We get the deputize ability on your Jawas. They get the constable tag. Now over here, we do survive Leia's ult. We are fractured, so we have to wait a little bit. But look at the thermals keeping us alive. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And look at Cup hitting like an absolute truck. Who would have thought that they would have come? Absolutely nutty. So over here, Jin got the revive, but the thermals are going to make her explode. Now it's just a solo Leia with R2. And the thermals are still piling on. Look how many thermals are on the enemy team. It's just nuts. Absolutely nuts. R2 is definitely going down. And they don't recover health and protection, I guess, when they have a thermal or something. I guess that's part of the kit as well, because she would normally ult and recover back to 100% health and protection. That didn't happen here. Absolutely nutty. So even without crazy damage stats, you're still doing enough. As long as Cobb Vanth can survive, you're going to be doing really good things. So we're getting to the 2-minute mark. It's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Boom. Gone. Leia's done. Now, the one that really surprised me, this is with a Datacron. This is with the Galactic Republic 6. CAT. We can target CAT because she is a scoundrel. And she's going to have Outlaw, which means you can target Outlaw enemies. Which means I can ignore the taunt from General Kenobi. And this is one of those matchups where your cheese is your friend. Because if they just ignore Cobb Vanth and go for your constable sides, this battle can last forever. So, as you can see, I have the distracted on Cat. I can ignore her. The goal is to get to the insta-kill as fast as possible on Cat. So, I'm spreading out that debuff. Got to get it 3 times. We have speed up. We have defense up. One more time we use it, we'll get the execute. So, we have to wait a little bit. It takes a little bit of time. But our Cobb Vanth is surviving the hits from Kenobi. So, look at that cheese. They're just hardcore focusing our Lobot. So, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Lobot will not go down. Will not die. Now, over here, I spread it to the 3rd target. We have execute up. I'm now going to use it on Cat. Cat is gone. Insta-killed. At this point, there's not a lot of damage on the team. I don't feel any fear that Cobb Vanth is going to go down, especially from Kenobi. Because without any stacks of armor shred on Cobb Vanth with that much defense, you're absolutely fine. So look at this. You're able to beat Kenobi with Cat. That's not an easy task to do, especially against a team that has no instant defeat immunity. So this was great. I cannot believe we were able to win against Kenobi. Huge, huge win. So just trying to showcase that he's not as bad as you may seem, or he may seem to be. He's very, very good. Now, his defense viability, I do not think is going to be a thing. I simply do not think it's going to be a thing. I think that's all the Galactic Legend battles. I want to showcase now a Jango battle, because Jango has a Datacron, and I wanted to see what it was going to be like. So I ended up putting the anti-Terminator gain on Mando, because if he gets the insta-kill, you're in some trouble. But look at the damage from Cup. Absolutely crazy. They're just so durable. The only thing you have to fear here is the insta-kill from Mando. Other than that, I don't think they're going to kill your Cobb Vanth. Over here, I tried to go for an ability block, but it didn't really work. I think you have to be damaged by the enemy team, and they didn't target Cobb Vanth, I think. So over here, they're cheesing Cup. Absolutely cheesing on Cup. Cobb Vanth is surviving those big hits, not doing a lot of damage. Got the buffs removed. I'm using Tusken Warrior here. I think maybe with Chief Nebbit, or with Jawa Scavenger, it might be a little bit easier. I just forgot to swap it out because they're attacking out of turn. There's a lot of thermals being applied once they're hitting your Chief Nebbit. So over here, I'm just taking my time. Sometimes the game was taking a long time with loading some of the animations for some reason. So I'm just trying to get rid of... Look at that. Look at that AoE from Cup. It's just insane. Absolutely insane. Just crazy stuff. Absolutely crazy. Now, I think that's the last battle I showcase for the recording. But I do want to say that there are a couple Galactic Legends that really, really walked over us. Number 1, Ahsoka Ezra. Not happening. Kylo, with and without Rey. Not happening. Way too much, anti-crit. Can't gain turn meter. Lots of counters. Kylo, the irresistible stun, blows you out of the way. Or blows you out of the water. So, Lord Vader, I could not get to work either. Lord Vader clones walked right through us. Could not get past Scorch. It was very, very tough. But as far as non-GL stuff, it's hard to test in Squad Arena. I think for the most part, you're going to be able to beat Maz Kanata. You're going to beat Jabba, beat Hondo. You can beat Kenobi. You can beat Leia. That alone makes him a worthy investment because he is stepping up and beating teams he is not supposed to, especially with factions and characters that stink. Jawas stink. Cup and Lobot stink. They no longer stink. They have a home. The Constable faction is very interesting, and there's more to come. So I cannot wait to see what they're going to do in Grand Arena. I am going to be applying the Omicron for Grand Arena. More than likely TW for my guild. They're doing big things. Now, the big question is that I have, and we're going to talk about this for a little bit, is what does this do for Grand Arena? Because if players are going to be nervous about setting their Pirates, Hawk Cartel, Scoundrels on defense, will this change Grand Arena even more to be a cheesier meta? Because now Jabba, Hondo might not be set on defense anymore because you're scared about being countered by Cobb Vanth. So, I want to know what you guys think. I think this is kind of like the Maz Kanata treatment with Sith. Sith are kind of non-existent on defense for the most part because of Maz Kanata completely eradicating them. Do you think that Cobb Vanth is going to eradicate the Pirates, Scoundrels, Smuggler faction, and Hawk Cartel off of defense until they get lifter units to stop this? So, I want to know what you guys think. Is Cobb Vanth going to make a major impact in Kyber 1 or in the game in general? Let me know down below what you guys think. Do you think he's a good character? Is he exceeding your expectations? And what are your plans with him? And do you agree with my modding? So, Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe for more content from your boy Vex. We're on the road for 20,000 subs. Let's see how fast we can get there. So, thank you guys all again. I hope you have a great rest of your day. May the Force be with you all, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.